The new moon doesn't start a new month or a new year. Part 3. The new moon was never designated to be used as a start of the Hebrew months. This practice was started by pagan Babylonians and adopted by Hebrews during our Babylonian captivity. In the KJV translation of the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, Ezekiel was commanded to lie down for 390 days on his left side, then to turn over and to continue to lie down for 40 days on his right side. Adding together the total of these days gives a sum of 430 days. There's a new theory that these 430 days show that this particular year had 13 months instead of 12 months. Here are the scriptures that are spoken of. Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 4th month, as I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, I saw visions of Elohim, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiam's captivity. Ezekiel had completed his task by the 6th year. Ezekiel 8 and 1. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, as I sat in mine house. It is assumed that because we read that the total days Ezekiel spent lying down was 66 days greater than that standard of 364 or 365 days in a year, that an extra leap month, 13th month, must have been added. This theory, however, is biblically unsound. There are only 12 months in a biblical year. Yah did not command his people to determine the month by the new moon observation, and Yah did not command a 13th leap month. Let's delve deeper into this. Many people use the Strong's Concordance with their Bibles to better study the scriptures. This is wise because of changes in word meanings and translations. There is another study source, however, that is necessary to even better study the scriptures. That source is the Septuagint. The Septuagint is one of the first translations of the Old Testament Hebrew Bible. The Septuagint is about 1,000 years older than the source of our KJV Bibles, as well as most other Bible translations currently in existence. The Septuagint shows the error in the number of days given in the KJV version of the book of Ezekiel, as we will read. The book of Ezekiel is not the only place where the Septuagint corrects errors found in the KJV. The book of Genesis shows another. The KJV version of the Genesis, chapter 46 and 27, states that the number of all the souls of the house of Jacob that left Egypt after the Passover was 70 souls. This, however, does not reflect what was stated in the KJV version of the book of Acts. In the KJV version of Acts, chapter 7, verse 14, it states that 75 souls of the house of Jacob left Egypt. The Septuagint, however, backs up the KJV book of Acts by also stating that 75 souls left Egypt. Let's read these accounts. KJV, Acts 7 and 14. Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred, 75 souls, that being 75. The KJV Genesis 46 and 27 states, all the souls of the house of Jacob which came into Egypt were 70, that being 70 souls. The Septuagint translation, however, states, also in Genesis 46 and 27, all the souls of the house of Jacob who came with Joseph into Egypt were 75 souls. The Septuagint version of the Old Testament makes other corrections to the KJV. For example, Genesis 10 and 24 gives the genealogy of the seed of Adam. The KJV version omits Canaan, while the KJV New Testament book of Luke includes Canaan in the genealogy. While some had seen this as a contradiction, the Septuagint corrects this omission, and it also includes Canaan in the genealogy. Let's read briefly the differences. In the KJV book of Luke, chapter 3 and 36, Canaan, which was the son of Arphaxad. Now, KJV Genesis 10 and 24 states, Arphaxad begat Selah, Selah begat Eber. And this, of course, omits Canaan. Now for the Septuagint version of Genesis 10 and 24. Arphaxad begot Canaan, and Canaan begot Selah. Selah begot Eber. And as you see here, Canaan was indeed included in this, which connects directly to the KJV book of Luke. In addition to the Septuagint correcting numerical errors found in the KJV, the Septuagint was directly quoted from by the New Testament apostles and the Messiah. It is said that 90% of the Old Testament quotes are from the Septuagint instead of the KJV's original source, the Masoretic text. Here are just a couple. This New Testament KJV quotes directly from the Septuagint and not the KJV. 1 Peter 4 and 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? The KJV Proverbs 11 and 31 states, Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more than the wicked and the sinner. However, the Septuagint Proverbs 11 and 31 states, If the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? The KJV New Testament again quotes the Septuagint. This is in Hebrews 10 and 5. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, Sacrifice and offering would you not, but a body have you prepared me. The KJV from Psalms 40 and 6 states, Sacrifice and offering did you not desire, mine ears have you opened, burnt offering and sin offering have you not required. But the Septuagint Psalms 40 and 6 states, Sacrifice and offering you would not, but a body have you prepared me. Whole burnt offering and sacrifice for sin you did not require. The Septuagint is about 1,000 years older than the source of the KJV Bible, which is the Masoretic text. And there are many other verses that prove the validity of its translation. But for this study, let's return to the book of Ezekiel and the fact that it does not prove the existence of a 13th month. Ezekiel was a prophet to Israel and was chosen to be a sign to the nation. Yah told him to draw or portray the city of Jerusalem and show what was to happen to the city. In addition, Yah told Ezekiel to lie on his left side, then on his right side for a certain amount of days. Each day was to equate to a year of Israel's disobedience. In the KJV version, it states that for the house of Israel, that being the northern 10 tribes, the years of disobedience for them was 390 years. And for the house of Judah, the southern 2 tribes, their years of disobedience was 40 years, the total being 430. However, in the older Septuagint version, it states that the years of disobedience for the northern house of Israel was only 150 years, and the years of disobedience for the southern house of Judah was 40 years, that being a total of 190. Let's read. The KJV Ezekiel 4 and 3 states, This shall be a sign to the house of Israel. Lie you also upon the left side, and lay the iniquity of the house of Israel. For I have laid upon you the years of their iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days. And when you have accomplished them, lie again on your right side, and you shall bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that you shall lie upon thy side, 390 days shall you eat thereof. The Septuagint version states, Ezekiel 4 and 3, This is a sign to the children of Israel, and you shall lie upon thy left side, and lay the iniquities of the house of Israel upon it, according to the number of 150 days, during which you shall lie upon it, and you shall bear their iniquities. And shall lie upon thy right side, and shall bear the iniquities of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee a day for a year, and shall make them loaves for thyself, and thou shalt eat them 190 days, according to the number of the days which you sleep on your side. The number of days that Ezekiel was commanded to lay on his left side for the northern house of Israel, according to the KJV version, was 390 days. This stood for 390 years of disobedience. The KJV number of 390 years is not correct, because when all the years of the reigns of all the kings of the house of Israel are added up, the whole northern kingdom did not last for 390 years. So they could not have been in disobedience for 390 years. The Septuagint once again corrects this error. The Septuagint's version of Ezekiel clearly shows that the house of Israel was disobedient for 150 years, not 390 years. This fact clears up any confusion regarding the book of Ezekiel showing a case for a 13th month. Ezekiel only laid on one side for 150 days and the other side for 40 days, for a total of 190 days, which is well under the standard of 364 or 365 days in a year. Therefore, even the case of Ezekiel's unusual circumstances, there still is only 12 months in a year, never 13. As stated and shown in the two previous brief studies, the biblical year consists of 12 months. The Babylonian practice of following a lunar year will always force the eventual adding of a 13th month. A month based on the phases of the moon creates an unbiblical year with only 354 days. The moon does not determine our months. Praise Yah. Please stay tuned for part 4.